Hey there, and welcome. So if you're working in hospitality revenue management here in the UK, you already know the job is all about maximizing profit, right? But to do it really well and to build a business that's going to last, it's about so much more than that. It's about being smart, sustainable, and, you guessed it, ethical. All right, let's get into it. Because, and this is no exaggeration, the stakes are incredibly high. We're not just plugging numbers into a spreadsheet. We are navigating a pretty complex legal maze where one wrong turn, one bad pricing call can lead to some hefty fines. And honestly, even worse than that, it can destroy the trust you've built with your customers, and that's a price that's way too high to pay.
You know, it really is a constant balancing act. On one hand, you've got that relentless pressure to drive revenue. But on the other, you've got your legal duties, your ethical compass, and the need to protect your brand's good name. And if you get that balance wrong, well, the consequences can come at you fast and hard.
And look, these risks, they touch literally every single part of a revenue manager's world. We're talking pricing, how you segment your audience, the promotions you run, how you use data, even event and alcohol sales. I mean, think about it. A simple decision, like a happy hour promotion, suddenly brings consumer protection laws and the Licensing Act right to your doorstep. The legal side of things is just everywhere. So the big question is, how do you even begin to navigate all this? Well, it all starts with knowing the rules of the game. So we're going to walk through the 6 essential UK laws that you absolutely need in your toolkit. Think of this as your go-to guide for making decisions that don't just fill rooms, but also build real, lasting trust with your guests. Okay, first up, the big one, the Competition Act of 1998. This is enforced by the Competition and Markets Authority, you'll hear them called the CMA, and its whole purpose is to keep the market fair. It stops businesses from, well, ganging up on the consumer. And as you can see, the risk for us is super clear. You absolutely cannot fix prices or share sensitive data with your competitors. You know, the classic example. 2 hotels in the same area have a friendly chat and agree to keep their rates above a certain level during a big conference. That is a huge no-no. The message could not be clearer. Your pricing decisions have to be 100% independent, period. All right, let's move on to our second law, the Consumer Rights Act. Now, this one is all about your relationship with your guest. At its heart, it's about 2 things, fairness and transparency. Basically, what you promise is what you have to deliver, and the price you show has to be the real price, no games. This means no sneaky, hidden, mandatory fees. Come on, we've all seen it, right? A room is advertised for £120, but then you get to the very last page of the booking and, surprise, a resort fee magically appears. That's exactly what this law is designed to stop. The key takeaway here is simple. Transparency isn't just a nice-to-have. It's not optional. Next up, the Equality Act of 2010. Okay, as revenue managers, we live and breathe segmentation. It's what we do. But this act draws a very, very bright red line that you cannot cross. It makes it flat out illegal to discriminate against customers because of things like their age, race, gender, or disability. And this little comparison makes that line crystal clear. Offering a discount for booking early? Totally fine. Giving a special rate to a corporate client? Of course. But offering different prices based on where someone comes from, or changing your rates based on their age or gender? Nope, that's not segmentation anymore. That is unlawful discrimination. So the rule of thumb is actually pretty simple. You segment your customers based on their behavior, like when they book or if they're part of your loyalty program, not on who they are. Okay, now for a law that is absolutely critical in today's world, the Data Protection Act of 2018. Which you probably know as UK GDPR. I mean, anytime you're using a cool AI pricing tool or crafting a personalized offer for a guest, this is the law that's looking over your shoulder.
So if you're using these amazing, powerful tools to get ahead, you have to have a clear legal reason for processing that customer data. Your fancy data strategy and data privacy have to be locked together at the hip. You just can't have one without the other.
Number 5 is the consumer protection from unfair trading regulations. That's a mouthful. But it's really about making sure your marketing is persuasive in an honest way. It bans any practice that might mislead or pressure a customer into making a choice they wouldn't have otherwise. A perfect example of this is false scarcity. You've seen it a million times. Hurry, only 1 room left at this price. But what if that's not actually true? What if it's just a tactic to create fake panic? Well, that's a misleading practice, and it's against the law. The message is simple. Your promotions need to be straight up and free of manipulation. And finally, we have the Licensing Act of 2003. Now, this one might actually surprise a few of you, but it is so relevant, especially if your hotel is a bar, hosts events, or sells packages with alcohol.
Your brilliant revenue strategies have to stay within the lines of your license. That means your opening hours, your capacity limits, and your duty to promote alcohol responsibly. That bottomless brunch package, if it's designed in a way that encourages people to drink irresponsibly, you could be in hot water. You simply can't let your pricing strategy outrun your license.
Phew, okay. So we've covered the 6 big laws. But here's the thing. Being a truly great, responsible revenue manager means you have to go one step further. It's about understanding the absolutely critical difference between what's legal and what's ethical.
The best way to think about it is like this. The law is the starting line of a race. You have to cross it just to be in the competition. But ethics, that's the finish line, and you've got to cross both to be seen as a real winner in the eyes of your customers.
And the consequences of messing up are totally different. Breaking the law, that's going to hit you in the wallet with fines and legal fees. But breaking your customers' trust, that's going to hit your business right in the heart. And that kind of reputational damage can last a lot longer and cost a lot more than any legal penalty.
So where does this all lead? What's the big picture here? It's all about building a genuinely responsible revenue strategy. This is where you pull everything together, the legal stuff, the ethical thinking, and that long-term vision of trust into one powerful, coherent approach.
Because this, right here, is the new gold standard. Success today isn't just about squeezing every last penny out of your RevPAR. It's about maximizing your revenue responsibly, legally, and ethically. That's the only way you build a business that's truly built to last.
So, I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. Take a hard look at your own strategies and ask yourself, are you just building a business to stay compliant for today, or are you building it for the long haul on a real foundation of trust? The choice, as they say, is yours. Thanks so much for tuning in.